separation between the branches, don't pardons kind of overstep the judicial system? You know, because like you can just like undo their calls.
I look at it as a check on the judiciary,
Okay.
because sometimes the judiciary can get it wrong too.
Yeah.
And in that case, the president can step in and say, you're off the hook.
Right. Okay.
So Lewis, I'm not calling the guy Scooter. Lewis Libby, yeah, he was convicted for contributing to the leaking of the covert identity of CIA officer Valerie Plame, as you can see in the description. So that's a pretty serious offense. Well, she could have been killed from that, depending on where she was in the world. He just seems like a weirdo. Okay. John Arthur Johnson, also called Jack Johnson, he was a great boxing champion of his time. He was the son of slaves, worked his way up to be a boxing champion. His offense was violation of the White Slave Traffic Act. And you got to remember, this was in 1920. Times were entirely different. So he had a girlfriend. Girlfriend happened to be white. And he took the white girlfriend across a state line, which put him in violation of this act. Yeah.
Why a year and a day? What's the extra day for?
I don't know. I was not able to find that out. But this was obviously a posthumous pardon. Jack Johnson is not alive. His great niece, I believe, was.
Because that's like 100 years.
Well, yeah, he'd be over 100 years old, well over 100 years old. His great niece was there to collect it. Posthumous pardons also serve a purpose. You know, they can help heal, and sometimes help families of the deceased person who was wrongfully accused. Because this is wrong, no matter what, you know, any way you look at it, this is wrong. They can help the families of the accused, you know, feel a bit better about what happened, maybe put the past behind them and be at some measure of peace at any rate.
Is there a real chance of Joe Exotic being pardoned, or is that just like a publicity thing?
Who is Joe Exotic?
The
I have.
Tiger King guy from Nafta? Carl Baskin? He made all those videos saying how he was going to kill this woman. Do you not have Netflix? Because of
No, I do have Netflix, but
It's such a good show.
You're talking about Tiger King?
I mean, I don't want him to be. I'm just asking, like, is that a real thing? Like, could he possibly be?
In theory, anybody who's convicted of any crime could be pardoned. In theory, is it going to happen? I don't. Is he in jail for? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely.
Yes.
So, can anybody veto a pardon? Is that?
Nope.
So, like, the president just has ultimate power on this?
Yep.
Can be a terrible person, just, nah, you're good.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. With this particular president, President Biden, I would say probably not. President Trump was a lot more open. I mean, Kim and the artist formerly known as Kanye. Yeah, Yee. Came to, you know, would go to the White House and lobby for such and such a person and such, you know, Sylvester Stallone got in his ear a little bit about Jack Johnson, and that was really a heavily contributing factor to him getting this posthumous pardon. So, I mean, the former president was open to celebrity influence.
Yeah.
They'd have to agree.
Yeah. All right. What's wrong, Jill?
It's just like a bunch of weirdos.
E?
He's a big.
He's.
The way you said that. He is a weirdo.
Well, how do you say it?
I don't say it at all because it's weird. It's just like Scooter.
Which would you prefer?
Like Louis Libby. It's like LL Cool Scooter. He's trying to be weirdos.
You guys are fun today. All right, we come to treaties. So he shall have power by and with the advice and consent of the Senate to make treaties, provided 2/3 of the senators present concur. So treaties have to be confirmed by 2/3 of the Senate. The president can make them, write the text, do whatever. They're no good unless the Senate confirms them. They're not in effect. So this was the downfall of the League of Nations, right? President Wilson signed this, thought it'd be a wonderful thing. Senate wouldn't confirm it. So it never became law that we were a member of the League of Nations.
Just the Senate.
Just the Senate. The Senate has power over treaties. The House does not. So, like the North American Free Trade Agreement, when that was still a thing, turned into, I'm doubting myself today. I don't know why. What did NAFTA turn into? It's called something else now. Yeah, USMCA, the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. It was ratified in March 2020. All right.
Not very long ago.
No, not very long ago at all. So NAFTA. It was an agreement, basically, and I'm skipping the YouTube videos for purposes of time, but I would encourage you to go back and watch them if you desire, and I think you should desire to go back and watch them. Just my advice, So basically what this treaty did was eliminate or heavily reduce tariffs on trade between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. And that was meant to create jobs and boost the economies of the three countries in the three North American countries. Now, the problem was, with us especially, we didn't do all that much trading with Canada and Mexico. So the thing was this really a help to us, this treaty, or was it a hindrance, or was it just kind of a net neutral thing? Turned out, in, I'll say my learned opinion, to be kind of a net neutral type thing. It didn't really help us. It didn't really hurt us. It was just kind of, it helped Mexico a great deal. A great deal. Helped Canada some. But it was a highly contentious agreement. So would the agreement bring jobs to the USA? Would it help the economy? Is it good for the American worker? And those were all things that we found out in the intervening years. Jobs, not really. Would it help the economy? Maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe it helped the economy 2 or 3. Not a whole lot. Is it good for American workers? It didn't hurt the American worker. Wasn't exactly a great thing either. And that was NAFTA. All right, now this is fun. So we get to my favorite guy, George Souness, which we'll see in a minute. And he shall nominate, and by and with the advice and consent of the Senate, shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls judges of the Supreme Court, and all other officers of the United States, whose appointments are not herein otherwise provided for, and which shall be established by law. But the Congress may by law vest the appointment of such inferior officers as they think proper in the President alone, in the courts of law, or in the heads of departments. Now, you guys are probably thinking I'm going to a Supreme Court appointment at this moment, because the President does have the power to nominate people to the Supreme Court. I'm not doing that, because we're going to go over the Supreme Court. Not next. We're doing Congress next, and we'll go to the Supreme Court. We're going to talk about ambassadorial appointments, particularly the United States ambassador to the Court of St. James, United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, all ambassadors to the United Kingdom are accredited and presented to the head of state, which right now is Elizabeth II. They aren't accredited to Buckingham Palace. They are accredited to the oldest royal residence, which is St. James's, which is really cool. It's got this neat Tudor exterior. There's a big clock on it. When I was studying over there, I walked past it pretty much every day. It's nice. You can't go in it, though, because the royal family lives there, some of them anyway, so they're not open for tours. And I wasn't in with Princess Anne at the time, so couldn't do it. So let me just give this a check. Yep, still him. I thought so. I'm really doubting myself. I don't know why. Yeah, well, he's the charge d'affaires ad interim. So he is the second in command. He's not the ambassador. The ambassador hasn't been confirmed yet.
Is that a bad thing?
So,
No, it's not a bad thing. We don't need, technically speaking, to have an ambassador over there. Relationships with the United Kingdom are stable. We don't need to have someone over there. What we're doing over there is like visa processing, helping some citizens who might get into trouble. Charge d'affaires can more than handle that. You were going to ask a question.
why wouldn't he just be the ambassador?
Ambassadors have to be confirmed by the Senate. Yeah.
The Senate is just like blowing it on.
Well, the Senate's been a little more concerned with Judge Jackson, the Supreme Court nominee.
And his wife was that the thing? Or is he not Supreme Court?
No, Judge Jackson is a woman.